This episode is brought to you by Bellatoris Publishing, bringing stories to the world that last forever. So this is going to be a new segment where we look at the Latin names for characters, places, things, and try and hunt for clues.
What do you got today?
Obitium means... So, obitium is lost, do not open the gate, synchronous is death.
I'm even more confused now.
My favourite one. So we learn that Calidus, his surname, is Oricius. It means... That is definitely a character trait. And I thought this was really good. I think that is not an accident.
Oh no, obviously. James was looking for something about the personality of this character and gave it this name.
Yeah, it's cute.
Hello and welcome to Faithfully Fantasy,
The husband and wife podcast talking all things fantasy fiction.
I'm JC.
And I'm Sean.
And today we will continue with our read along of The Will of the Many with the chapters 24 to 35. Just a heads up, we might use strong language and explore adult themes.
You can rest easy that there'll be no spoilers from beyond chapter 35. From now on, consider us your fantasy buddy readers.
And before we start, quick reminder, if you love our content and want even more, plus early access to episodes, monthly bonus content, and a completely ad-free experience, you can become one of our supporters. You can try for free now and cancel anytime. For the best deal, visit faithfullyfantasy.com or just subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts for instant access. Don't miss out and unlock the extra content waiting for you.
Also, if you're enjoying the show, please take a second to rate us wherever you're listening. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all of it. It helps more fantasy lovers find us, and it's one of the easiest ways to support what we do. A quick tap and you've made our day.
Okay then, let's dive into...
Wait, what just happened? This is a long one, brace yourself. So we open with Viz doing what any sensible person would do after a mysterious physician takes his blood. He asks Cadmos if it's normal. Cadmos, in peak I'm too old for this energy, basically shrugs and says not routine, but probably fine. Meanwhile, Vis is training like he's trying to outrun his own anxiety. Lenistia tells him that if he wants to investigate anything meaningful, he needs to get into class 3 at the academy. No pressure. After 2 weeks of being academically and physically pulverized, it's time to go. At the academy, at last. The school physician, Ulnius, greets him with the warmth of someone who feels personally indebted. His sister survived the Naumachia thanks to Vis. Viridius then shows up to escort Vis to his dorm, insisting he's innocent of everything Alkiskor suspects and that he sympathizes with Vis's impossible loyalties. It's a very I'm not the villain, I'm just misunderstood walk and talk. He drops Vis in Class 7's dorm room, the bottom rung, where they meet Calidus, a boy studying alone while everyone else eats. Viridius orders Calidus to take Vis to dinner, and Calidus obeys with the enthusiasm of somebody being told to socialize against his will. Dinner goes badly. Edin, a 6th student, threatens Calidus, and Vis, who has been at the academy for approximately 12 minutes, punches him in the face. While the teachers debate his fate, Talia warns Vis that Edin could demand his expulsion unless Vis swallows his pride. Vis delivers a formal, threefold apology, realizes Edin isn't native Kitenan and might not understand the cultural rules, and apologizes again. Edin relents. Vis avoids expulsion, but is sentenced to 2 months of shoveling horseshit. His first class is a shock. The material is painfully basic, and Calidus is openly reading something far more advanced. At lunch, Calidus apologizes for being prickly and warns Vis that Viridius paired them deliberately. Calidus's father is an unpopular senator, and Calidus is a political liability. Vis files that away. After an aptitude test and his first evening in the stables, Amissa appears, not for punishment, just to help. She gives him the lay of the land. Impress the preceptors if he wants to advance, but Dultatus and Nicias are purists, who think only true Catenans deserve success. Class 6 is no better though. He moves up, But the students won't sit with him, so he and Calidus form the pariah table, which is honestly where I'd sit. Weeks later, Dultatis takes Class 6 to the labyrinth. Vis is thrilled. Finally something he's good at. Except the exercise is done in pairs. One runner, one brace operator, and the rest of the class trying to catch them. Vis is paired with Aidin, who refuses to communicate. They lose the first round. When they switch, Vis realizes Aidin doesn't understand Katenin. He tries Kymrian, and suddenly they're a perfect team. They're the only pair to finish. Dultatis calls it cheating, because of course he does. Vis sneaks out. He scales the spiked wall, travels through the forest, and finds the ruins. Inside, he discovers carvings, symbols matching the labyrinth, and a chamber full of corpses pierced with obsidian blades. Then the corpses speak. Their empty eye sockets open. Vis runs like any sane person would. As he escapes, he sees Viridius and another man responding to an alarm. He races back, cuts his hand on the wall, and slips into bed just as the teacher enters. Aidin covers for him without hesitation. To hide the real injury, Vis stages a dramatic breakfast accident. Ulnius clearly knows he's lying, but lets it slide. Calidus finally explains his demotion. His father is a powerful but unpopular senator, and Calidus deliberately tanked his performance to avoid becoming a political hostage. Meanwhile, Aidin quietly asks Vis, in Kymrian, if he killed someone. Vis admits he snuck out. Aidin, who hates the academy and the Catenans, is delighted to help hide the rebellion. Vis confesses he's working with military to uncover religion's secrets on Solovargus. Aidin disapproves, but agrees to keep quiet on one condition, if Vis teaches him Catenan. And that's where we leave Vis, juggling alliances, dodging prejudice, cleaning stables, uncovering ancient horrors, and somehow still finding time to tutor his roommate. Phew, can take a breath now. So much happened in these chapters.
I know, that was a long one, but however, you covered pretty much everything that happens in these chapters, and so many things happens, and obviously now we're in the academy,
and we're meeting new characters, so lots of new names, lots
locations,
of new law,
mysteries,
rules, lots to get our heads around.
Time now for Confirm, Curse, or Completely Unhinged.
The part of the show where we either get to bank those bragging rights or have a good laugh at ourselves for being way too wild in our previous theories, or in this case, your previous theories. What did you have?
So I remember the last week I said that Vis won't show off in the academy because it's not his nature. And I was kind of right because he was saying that it's not his real nature, that he feel uncomfortable doing it.
But he has to.
He's doing it because I remember as well the words from Alkiscord that if he actually wants to go higher in this academy, he needs to show off. He needs to prove constantly over and over that he is the best, that he needs to be higher. So even when he hated, as I said that he will, he's still doing it.
He is actually doing it,
yes.
yeah. So you were half right, half wrong.
I was right that it's not his nature, but I was wrong that he will do it anyway.
Yeah. Obviously, I can't take part in this part, but I can call out the bits that have happened now and the bits that you might have been able to guess. These are really boring, but things that we could have talked about last week. We knew that he would be at the academy because I haven't stopped banging on about it. And obviously, that is the natural trajectory of this story. We could have predicted that he would get at least one promotion. I remember, though, when I was doing this the first read of it, I expected him to just fly through. But obviously, it's a really good reflection in that it does mirror what happens in real life. Sometimes it is a case of it's not what you know, it's who you know. So I think it's even more prevalent in that kind of hierarchical society. But we could have predicted that he would not stay in the seventh.
I wasn't sure about it because obviously I didn't know how good or bad was the level in seventh. So once I started to see that even he was surprised, like, no, this can't be right. There has to be an error. It's going to be that easy. But after that moment, I didn't know like how easy it would be for him to go to next.
Yeah, but you also know that he has to get to three. He has to try to get to three.
But obviously, I didn't know if it would be like a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months until he started to move on.
Yeah, well, he's like
six
weeks in the sixth and he still hasn't moved up. So, yeah we also could have predicted that we might see the labyrinth at this point in the real flesh, and it's very different. It's a bit more professional. It's not like a home version, you know, when your mum's like, we've got a labyrinth at home, you don't need to go. We've got chicken at home. But yeah, but I want KFC. That's...
Yes. So now time for screaming, crying, and throwing swords.
Our seasoned listeners will know that this is the part of the show where we talk about how we're feeling, what we think about the book, and ask any questions we have about the characters, the plot from this week's read-along. So how are you feeling about it? Do you understand why I'm so obsessed?
Yes, so at this point, I really love the story. I love the world building that we see in these chapters, how we're going deeper about the academy, all the surroundings. There's this mystery that was going on and these ruins. So
creepy.
Yes, so many things that happen in these chapters. So new people, new characters that you start to see. They're gonna be like a key part on this story. So I'm loving it.
Yay! Who was your MVP this week?
I think has to be Kalidos, because he's now like his first friend, like a real friend, and that's something nice for him, that he's been always alone, that he's always no one to be included into anything. Now he has this friend, and also he gives a little bit of insights about how the academy works, about people around, that kind of stuff. Also, because of him, he goes against this new guy, Edin. He started first as maybe like a bad guy in the story, and little by little, by the end of the chapters, you start to see it start to form like a good alliance between Viz and him.
I don't ever think Edin is bad. I think he's misunderstood, like literally, because he's just not very good at Katenan. And I also think he's taken advantage of. And you can see that because Viz takes advantage of the fact that he doesn't really know the customs, and he gets him to accept an apology when he's very nearly expelled. And I think that's a mark of what other people are maybe doing to him as well.
Yeah.
So I feel really sorry for Edin.
Well, the first time when I saw him, and this is saying, I thought he was just the typical bully, that he just wanted to go against the weak. Because even Viz was saying that Kalideos doesn't have any chance against him, because he is not that strong, he's not that tall neither. So obviously, for that reason, Viz was in the middle. He was defending him.
Yeah, but think about it. The reason why all of the student body hate Kalideos all of a sudden is because of his dad and some of the bad decisions, quote unquote, that he's been making.
Yes.
Does Edin really care about that? Think about where he comes from. Think about what he's there for. Think about, like, that doesn't stack up. I'm just saying, watch out for people that might be manipulating him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kalideos was my MVP too as well. I think we found someone in the hierarchy who's not 100% behind what they're doing. He's digging up the dirt, and he's Viz's new bestie. Also, he's really funny. Like, there were some really good lines, and you could see that they were getting to be like just bros. My favorite bit was when Viz got the cut, and while it was really graphic, and he like leant on the blunt knife to fake the injury. Kalideos is like, if there's ever been a more spectacular failure of basic human movement before, I haven't seen it. And it's just like old Roman banter. It's none of the stuff, like none of the jokes that happen, and the bit where Edin and Viz are talking about Dultatis, and they're like criticizing him. It's really funny, but it's you can tell it's been written in a way that's like old fashioned, or like by, I don't know, a slightly older author, or like that like thinks that's how 17-year-olds speak, but it's not modern, so it works. And it is funny. But Kalideos is my favorite. I think we should also give a special shout out to Miss or two for helping Viz clean up all the horse poop.
It was few characters I think start to be like a important part on the life of this, but Calder is the one who's been like constantly in some of these chapters. That's why for me he is the most valuable player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we get a little bit of romance as well.
Yeah, we start to see that spark in
Yeah.
his eyes.
Aww.
Surrounded by
horse. I must stink in there. Right, so what were the Ovek or Rotting Gods moments or the key things you wanted to talk about this week?
Well, yeah, there's a few of them. So I go in like this kind of in the same the timeline from these chapters. So the first one for me was when Viz punched the face of Eden. Because you're expecting that this is gonna be like military, so obviously the one they are in a high rank that you're supposed to treat as your superiors. So I knew that he would be able to knock this guy because he'd been basically doing it with seventh warriors like Septimus in the arena. And I knew that even when this guy was bigger and that kind of stuff, he won't have as much experience as him. But then when he actually did, I was like, ooh. I mean, I was expecting that, but at the same time, he's in trouble here. No, what's going to happen?
Everything about this place is hierarchical. Obviously, the series is called the Hierarchy series. But even the way that they eat their dinner, they're on like different platforms and it like steps up to the top. Yeah, and then you've got the thirds looking down being like, oh shit, this shouldn't happen. Somebody's going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when the drama starts.
Yeah, exactly. Then other part that surprised me was with Caladius because from the beginning you can see that there was something going on with him. So I thought that he was doing just something suspicious, something that he shouldn't do. But then I started to see that, okay, he was just like avoiding problems when he was just not having any lunch with the other ones. You see that he's a really smart person, basically at the same level as this, and sometimes even looks, they even like higher than him. And when he tells the story about what he doesn't want to go further, that basically everything is a strategy for himself. That even his dad doesn't know what he's doing here, but he is just basically making sure that nothing's going to have anything against his father. So I thought like, wow, that is like, everything is a strategy. But in this time, he basically is sacrificing his career to make sure that when shit happens, as he is expecting, it will be less drama for his family.
Yeah. There's still quite a lot to learn about the whole situation.
Yeah.
So no comment.
Then other part is Emisa helping Viz with his punishment. It's pretty clear that Viz has a little thing for her. But if she is helping her, like cleaning all the tables, it has to be because she likes him as well. No other woman will just do that just because feeling guilty or friendship.
Oh, because it's famous?
Well, but that doesn't count in the academy. That's why everyone was saying to him that just because he's now Catanicos, don't believe that he will be treated differently.
Not by the...
from outside, maybe.
Not by the teachers, but still, like, fame might speak to people. But anyway. Oh, it's so hard, this. Because I know what's going to happen. It's so hard. Yeah. Next.
Okay, next. Viz making an alliance with Eden. And all of this thanks to this language that his mother made him to learn. I thought that was like really cool, like twist. That this guy, that one day he nearly make him be out of the academy. And I thought they would be just like the enemy in the academy.
Like the Draco Malfoy.
Yes, pretty much. With the difference that it wasn't...
Well, we found the Snape.
Yes, but I kind of like this thing from the beginning when you start to see that even after he get punched and everything happens, it's kind of like he respect this. So he's not like chasing him. He's not just trying to do something. He's just like keeping the distance. And finally, when he goes to the ruins and start to have a first look about what's going on there, I honestly wasn't sure what to expect, like what we're going to find out there. But I wasn't expecting that at all.
Oh my God, it's so good. So what we've got is like corridors, which is in itself kind of a labyrinth. You've got glowing writing on the wall in a forgotten language. You've got some language that he can understand. Then some naked bodies that have no eyes, and they're all chanting, Obitium is lost, do not open the gate, synchronous is death. Can I get a prediction from you about what that means?
So obviously they're talking about a gate. I'm not sure if maybe it's going to be like a gate to another realm or something like this. Because the very first time when I was reading it, it gave me the vibe from Quicksilver when Cyrus was getting the sword.
Yeah.
And they was like, do not touch the sword.
Do not open the gate. Yeah.
So that's the part that I still know, like, totally get it, what's going on here, because I don't know why. I was expecting something more like Area 51, like, vibe. Like, the place was totally protected with guards, and they were like...
Well, there are lots of dead bodies.
Yeah, but no guards.
They're just trying to tell you something. What if I were to tell you, if you were to reread this book, you would have already heard about Obitium.
Oh.
You missed it.
Totally.
There's a tiny nod to it earlier on in the book. I'm not going to tell you.
Thanks.
You can go and find out. Or you can wait until the end. I've snuck in a brand new segment soon, and I'll be able to cover it a little bit there, but I'm not going to tell you because I don't think you're supposed to spot it. That's the point. It's very, very cleverly done. And then you go back and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah, that bit jumped out to me again in the reread. And actually, I read this 2 or 3 times this week just to get my head around it. It's quite scary, but it's also quite complicated. So you've got quite a lot going on at the same time. I'm interested in your theory around that. I obviously can't tell you if you're right or wrong, but I didn't think about it the first time I read it. I just like raced through it. And again, obviously there's so much more to learn about this place and the other place. So the things that jumped out to me in the reread.
Yeah.
This being named Catenicus, obviously I knew that he had got that nickname. Imagine that's really uncomfortable for him in the academy. And we hear it quite a lot. And just imagine what it would be like to become a hero of the empire that killed your parents and that overthrew your claim to a crown.
Yeah, sold your kingdom.
Yeah. And he just goes with it because he has to. But also he knows he's got a lot of conviction. He doesn't regret what he did. He saved a lot of people, a lot of innocent people that are basically just part of the hierarchy. But I don't know. I obviously am doing the reread with a bit more of a like character lens and getting to know the characters. And I just felt that must have been quite a hard thing for him to accept. This also, so just on another character point, Viridius, right at the beginning, Ulnius, the physician, the academy's physician, meets him off the train, the transect, and then he takes him to Viridius, and Viridius makes him an offer, and he says, I can put you in at a higher level. Do you want to accept that offer? Do you think that was a test? Because Vis then subsequently says no, and then he says, and I felt like I said the right thing based on Viridius's reaction. So do you think that made Viridius respect him more, or do you think it was a test? Like, what would have happened if he'd have said yes?
I don't think it was a test. I think it was like a generally offer. But Viridius wants to know what kind of man he will be. If he wants to just overtake everyone's place, no matter what, as long as he had the advantage, or if he wants to do the honorable thing, there's proof that he can move on and he deserves it.
Yeah.
And then when he chose that one, that's like the honorable way, then I think for him it was like feeling more respect for him.
Yeah. But he was kind of like, at that point, he didn't know what 7th was going to be like. It's a bit like you were saying, you didn't know what it was going to be like. He didn't. He could have just had such an easy ride. He could have been above 6, but then everything happens for a reason. He needed to.
Yeah, but also I think if he knew how it would be in 7, he's still doing it because he will do exactly the same reason that I need to prove to other ones that if I'm higher it's because I deserve it, not because I'm Catanicus or whatever.
Yeah.
I was never meant to love a human. But then, I saw her. I wasn't supposed to touch that fruit, but I took it, and I ate it. I was the most loyal of angels, until I lost her. Now they call me the devil, and I'll burn heaven itself before I lose her again.
Memoirs of Luzbel, a dark fantasy novel. Book 1 of the Luzbel saga. Now available on Amazon.
We've already talked quite a bit about Calidus, but Calidus dumps a bit of information on us that, again, I think I just like brushed over in the first read. I think everyone's going to be like, oh my God, like, did you actually pay attention? Or I've forgotten this stuff. I must have taken it in the first time round. But about the Civil War. So the hierarchy, the Catenan Republic, is on a knife edge. You've got 3 factions. You've got religion, military, and governance. And they are at, like, loggerheads. They don't want any one of those pyramids to become more powerful. Military is oversized. Military is very powerful because they are in a phase of civilization growth. That is, conquer and expand. And what do you need to conquer and expand? You need a military. So they have built a load of military, like, barracks and ports, and they're basically taking over the Republic. But now they have done it. There's no more Republic to overthrow. There are no more. I think Zeus was possibly the last one to fall because that only happened a few years ago. And now the other factions, so governance and religion, are starting to think that they have grown too much. So they need to start, like, scaling back these the infrastructure that they've built for military. Something's going to happen. There's like, they're on the brink of civil war between the factions. It's getting really tense. And Calidus's dad is part of that and is making some pretty big decisions that are upsetting a lot of high-ranked senators. So I really like the information dump, a bit more world building, a bit more kind of geopolitics information that's going on. Obviously, again, there's so much more to learn, but I also loved Vis falling for a Missa. I mean, I liked it the first time I read it, but I just young love in the academy. This book is by no means romance. Like, you could take it out and it would still be fine, but it would also be a bit weird if you put a load of 17-year-olds in a college and they didn't have, like, flings and stuff. I really enjoyed reading that part and how he just, like, for the first time in ages, he felt a bit free. And it took me back to the first conversation he had with Ulkiskor. And it was like, he pretended that he had a girl at the library that he kept going to meet. And now he does have somebody, but he's meeting in a horse stable. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a few mentions of giant wolves, a lupi.
Yeah.
They jumped out for no reason. yeah, and obviously the we've talked about this already, but the ruins. I had such a vivid feeling of what that would be like this time I've read it.
Yeah.
And it is really creepy. I actually was listening to the audiobook after I'd read this week's. I think it might have been last night, because I had it on and I fell asleep, and the corpses chanting Obertium is lost, do not open the gate, synchronous is death, woke me up, and I was terrified. And obviously I'd been like chanting in my ear, and I hadn't had a nightmare about it, but I was just like, because I don't like, if anyone's listened to the audiobook, it's quite that bit's creepy. They're like, Obertium is lost, do not open the gate, synchronous is death. It's like really weird. And I like woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning being like, whoa, where am I? Yeah. So there should be a trigger warning. Like, do not read this before you get to bed. Is there anything you're struggling with?
Like I said before, I was expecting something else with the ruins, because yes, there's like an alarm. The Viridius has to go there by himself, and even when he goes there, he goes with his eyes totally black. There's like the first sign that he's using will, so obviously he is expecting that he's going to fight or is going to do something there. But if there is like a weapon there, if there's something really powerful or something they want to protect, I was expecting to see like some guards at the beginning of the ruins, or like Viz has to dodge some people because they're like patrols or something. But there was nothing. So, I mean, he just got easily there, and they start to just see what is inside. So, I don't know if it's because I still not going further, and I don't know exactly what's going on or what's exactly these ruins. But if Alkiskar thinks that, yes, there's like a weapon there, and they're using it, or they're planning to use it, and there's dead people, or there's something here, why this place, it looks that, at least from my point of view, there's not like enough protection to avoid that more people go inside to have a look like this.
So the biggest thing is like hiding something in plain sight is often like the best way to do it, because if you make something high security, you naturally gain more interest in it. You've also got to remember where they are. So they're on an island, Soliphagus, and you cannot get past the sea. Do you remember when they were going on the transvect on the way in? If you try and swim past this area, the wall that is under the water, you will get dragged down if you're not authorized. Literally the only way onto this island is the transvect. And the transvect doesn't constantly go. It only goes at term time. So someone would have to sneak in at term time. Yes, one of the preceptors could do it. So one of the teachers, but I presume there's like some tracking and things that would, I mean, there's a 15-minute alarm, and obviously Viridius just drops everything as soon as that happens. He could be like in the shower or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you've got, the island is pretty high security anyway. You've got Octavi working the land, but you don't know how many of them. The guy that he was with, he talked about a guy called Zan. He talked about a guy called Edu. Was it Marcus? He was with a guy, I think his name is Marcus. He's not somebody that's been seen before. So he's not a preceptor. He's somewhere that's obviously aware of what's going on in these ruins. So I think you've got people there. I just don't think they're like armed guards. They're ready and there. And you do, again, you learn a little bit more. You have more people there that are doing weird things. I think the security is there. I just don't think you're seeing it. I know that it took them 15 minutes to stop the intruder, but you've got to also remember that this is pretty exceptional. Like, I don't think many people would have been able to climb over that wall.
Yes, plus also I think when Viridius was trying to think what could trigger the alarms, and this Marcos could be, it was saying like the possible scenarios. He said like it could be like another attack from outside, or from, I think I remember he says something, and we did, well, no, it can't be. I don't think it's that. So it seems there's been times when somebody or something from outside has been in this island or in this a specific
But he's
place.
saying I don't think it could be that because they've locked down the island security since then. You literally cannot get onto the island. So they must only have people they can trust. But he doesn't trust. So he also says check the dorm rooms for class 3, class 4, class 5. I know, class 3 and class 4.
Yeah.
He doesn't say 5. He says class 3 and class 4 because he knows that they're the only people that could probably, realistically, sneak out, get over the wall, go all the way through the forest, find the place, snoop around and go undetected. There's nobody in class 5, 6 or 7 that could do that. And then he's like, wait, this could do it. Check 6 as well. So I think it takes a very special person to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And everything else is kind of locked down. You can't get onto the island. I appreciate that I'm going to be pretty defensive every time you say that you're struggling with something, because I just can't find anything that I'm struggling with. There are no plot holes. I'm just telling you, there aren't any. I actually found out it's going to be 4 books.
4 books?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was already confirmed.
I thought it was
trilogy.
3. Yeah, just because I said that, but I think I just made it up. I just saw that James Islington said it'll take at least 4 books. At least 4
Then
books.
maybe one of them is going to be like a point of view or something, because I thought it was like the Strand of the Many, no, the Will of the Many, the Strand of the Few, and then
the
the last one.
the Justice of the One. If you follow the pattern, what would be a good word? Maybe something like...
Well, we had the Justice for the One. They were talking about this. That maybe it's given a little bit that he will have maybe the kingdom back, or he will make the hierarchy to pay for.
Yeah, but it could be
everything they had
something like,
done.
if you think it's going to be a good ending, which I do, it could be something like the incarceration of none, or like the opposite of freedom. Give me a word. I can't think because it's so late.
I don't know, because we're going like in a pyramid, and then obviously you had the peak. There's the one, and right in the top. Then we're going back to what Stefan said, the strand of the pyramids and the foundation. So maybe go back to the foundation and start a new pyramid. Well, not a new pyramid, or a new system.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions?
So there was a part that it wasn't clear for me. I don't know if it's because the chapter or it's just the book that's intended this way. But I'm not sure if he actually was saying that there was dead people in these ruins, or he thinks they are dead. Because they were talking at the end. They were like looking at him even when they didn't have any eyes. So I feel like they were moving. Are they actually dead? Or because... what I'm thinking is that this place is kind of like a supper, and then these people are there just like imprisoned. They can't move willingly. They are just a trap.
What I can do is I can point you in the right direction for things you already know. So, you already know somebody else that...
Had no eyes.
Yes.
Yes.
You already know her role or what she was before she lost her eyes. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, so pretty much they're alive. They're like prisoners there. It was like happened to...
I wouldn't say they were prison. Well, kind of, yeah.
No, they're against their will, that for sure.
Yeah, good point. But she wasn't just a random person off the street, was she?
Mm-hmm.
She was a student.
Yeah.
That's all I can... that's all I can really say. But you know that, and you can figure that out.
Mm-hmm. No, really, Lanastia has like a background story that we haven't seen yet. But that was the thing that
I don't think.
I didn't know if I was
she's.
scared.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it's not. Can't remember if she remembers, but I don't think she does, because I think that's the point. They're trying to investigate and find out. I don't think she necessarily is investigating to find out what happened to her eyesight, but she's clearly investigating to find out what happened to Searoy.
Yeah.
She can't remember anything.
Yeah.
So that suggests that these people...
They're like in a trance or something. They're not conscious about what's going on.
Yeah, it suggests that you could rescue them, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But that they wouldn't remember anything.
That they're alive.
Ugh, So creepy.
What about you? Do you have any questions?
Yeah. It's a non-question. I just thought it was really weird that Olnius met him off the transfect and not one of the other. Like, why the physician? Why not like just someone else?
I don't know if pressure or something then to Viz that what he did was the right thing and he helped people that he didn't even have a clue. Like they were in danger.
I like Olnius. He's fun. I think I loved the bit where he took him to Viridius and Viridius had obviously made a bet with Olnius that Viridius said nobody will come back injured. Olnius said at least one of them will come back injured. And then that means that Viridius now has to do one of his shifts or three of his shifts or something.
Yeah.
I also can't remember. Belly is missing a finger. And Calidus says that she was bitten by a yellow snake. I can't remember if that's true. So my question is, that's not true.
A snake doesn't have that like capacity to take pieces. It's
obviously something else. I just can't remember. If it's not that, then I think I've got a good suspicion. I've got a good theory about what it is, but you probably find that out before the end of the book, and I'll just be like, oh my God, I'm an idiot.
Gonna be a basilisk.
Yeah. I have got a new section to add. It's called Raising the Dead Languages. So this is going to be a new segment where we look at the Latin names for characters, places, things, and try and hunt for clues.
Okay. What do you got today?
Obitium means death.
Oh.
So obitium is lost, death is lost. Do not open the gate, synchronous is death.
I'm even more confused now because it gave me the idea that what does it mean that like death itself is out in this world that's lost, or it means that maybe some people can't die now. They are like immortals. It's like,
well, I know what obitium is, so I can't speculate. My favorite one. So we learn that Calidus, his surname is Oricius.
Yeah.
Or Oricius. I don't know.
Oricius, I think. Yeah.
It means clever hedgehog. Calidus is clever. Calidus is clever, which is good because like that is definitely a character trait.
Yeah.
Oricius means hedgehog. And I thought this was really good because it's like a hedgehog is a very timid creature and it curls up in a ball and like spiky when it's in danger. Yeah. And that could be a bit of a metaphor for what Calidus is doing in terms of like he senses danger, so he is putting the defenses up and he's staying in 7th.
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah. Clever hedgehog. I think that is not an accident.
Oh no, obviously James was looking for something about the personality of this character and gave it this name.
Yeah. It's cute. But also like good. Emissa means fired, apparently. And this is a disclaimer that I am just really reliant on Google Translate for this. Or other translation tools could be better. Dultatus, the preceptor for sixth class.
Yeah.
It just means of old age.
Okay.
He's an arsehole. Oh, he's horrible, isn't he? He's the Severus Snape of this series.
Yeah.
Although there was a point when Viridius, when Vis wasn't expelled, Viridius like turned around and his white cape billowed behind him. And I like imagined there will be no foolish wand waving or silly incantations in this class. That's my Severus Snape. Yeah, he like swung around and his cloak, it specifically says as he stormed off, or like his cloak was billowing behind him. Yeah. Okay, and Ludicium, which is what they call the ruins in the area. Mm-hmm. Diversion. So like labyrinth, diversion.
Diversion in Spanish.
Oh yeah, fun. No, I don't think so. Yeah, that's all I've got this week, but I'm going to keep adding to it and then we're going to make a glossary of names.
That's really good. Give us a little bit more insights about characters and world building.
Yes.
Nice.
There are a few that don't make sense. So I was looking into Zan, I was looking into Adu, some of the other stuff. Ulneus is one. It's like the bone, the arm bone, the ulna.
Yeah.
The ulna or ulnea? I don't know. But that's quite fitting for a physician, isn't it? It does seem to be there's lots of people who go into the field, like, again, Harry Potter references, but Professor Sprout is the herbology teacher.
It'll be like the Smurfs. You don't know if they just because their name they had this kind of personality.
Yeah.
The personality.
Oh, the
wasn't in
dwarves.
name. No, Smurfs.
Oh.
Well, the dwarves as well.
Yeah, like greedy.
For Snow White.
Grumpy, dopey. Yeah, poor Dopey didn't even stand a chance. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Yeah, I always think this because you tell a kid that they're naughty, they're going to actually believe they're naughty and be naughty. If you tell a kid they can be good, like, come on, you're not naughty. And then...
Yeah.
Right, should we move on to the will of the maybe?
Okay.
This is the part of the show where we will lock in JC's predictions for the rest of the book and possibly mine for future books if I can remember anything, in the hopes that we get at least something right by the end of the series. What have you got?
Okay, so maybe this one is pretty clear now, but I think Edin will end in a really good friend for Viz. I start to see that they start to help each other. He from the beginning, even when he has maybe reasons to hate Viz, but he seems that he's maybe somebody with honor or somebody that is like a bad guy. Like you said, is maybe somebody that is misunderstood. But I start to say that yes, it's gonna be like a really good alliance for Viz in the future. So that's one there.
Okay.
The other one that you see straight away coming here is Viz and Misa. They will have a little romance. So obviously Viz, even he was like hating himself because the smile that he has when she is around or when he's thinking about her. So obviously he fell for her. And I think it will come, I don't know if it's going to be in next chapters, but at some point of this book, we will see that romance taking form and be something more official. Yeah. Then we're discussing this now, but the people in the ruins, they has to be alive. Even when he said they are corpses and they are just like dead people, there's like kind of describing like ghosts or zombies or something like this. But for me, they are more like stuck in a kind of like a supper. So I don't know if they're taking the wheel or something else, but I feel they are stuck in this place. And obviously they will need help. Next, Caledius will end on an advanced class and it's going to be against his will. I think maybe there will come a point that he won't be able to hide how clever he is or all the knowledge that he has, and then he will just be transferred. But I'm not sure if it's going to be like totally against his will or maybe something's going to happen that's going to force him to start to advance. So I don't think he will end in 7th.
But he was in 3rd. He dropped. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but
you think
he can go back.
Okay.
And last but not least, we will see these elupes or big wolves that have been mentioned in the island. And it's curious they had this name as well, the lupes, because obviously it contains the name lupes that's always related to wolves in Latin.
Latin, yeah.
Yes. So it's been a little bit changed just to say that these ones are bigger. So I don't know if we're talking about kind of like Twilight wolves. They're like massive wolves. Not like shapeshifters, but like really massive wolves. Was there maybe the head is in the same height as a person. So that would be cool because that would be really dangerous and terrifying. And those are my predictions so far.
Okay, I'm disappointed. There's one that you could predict and you haven't.
Okay. Maybe it's too obvious and I didn't want to say it. What is it?
I think you've forgotten because I think the clues were earlier in the book, and now I don't want to
Let's
build
say
the
anything, yeah.
anticipation anymore. But it is so good. Okay, so sticking with the theme of precognition, we will look at the chapters that we're going to cover next week.
For next week, we're going to be with chapters 36 to 47.
We are racing through this book, although we're not. But it feels like we are.
It's still a way to go.
Yes. Okay, so let's go sapping for secrets. This is the part of the show where we pose ourselves a question and sap deep into our will for the answers. Unlike our main man Vis, we are not immune to the sapper. There's no dodging or scheming. We just need to tell the truth. So last week, we asked, Ulkiskor doesn't seem to think it's important to tell his wife he's adopted a son. What's the biggest surprise you've ever given someone or that someone has given you?
So I'm going to say about the biggest surprise that I have, because I can't think about like the biggest surprise that I give to somebody, because I give surprises, but I can't tell you, that was like the biggest surprise for that person.
Well, you said you were going to come and live here for 4 months. And then you were like, surprise, I'm staying.
That was a surprise for my mom.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, but I think the biggest surprise was when you told me that I would be a father for the second
Oh my
time.
God, you were telling me. Oh, for the second time?
The second time. The first one, it wasn't that shocking for me because it was kind of like, we knew there was a possibility it could happen. But the second one,
I remember your face. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I still don't really understand. Well, I don't need a lesson. I understand that we could definitely have
an idea that how it happens. But, however, that was something that we didn't see coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember your face the first time. I don't think you really did see that coming. But anyway, I think that's probably mine as well. That's the one that I had, but not the second, the first.
The first one.
It's not like adopting a child and not telling someone, is it? A bit of a surprise for me as well.
I think we saw some news about the Alkiskor's wife knows now about she has a son. Well, everyone's gonna be maybe saying like, "Oh, congratulations with Katanikos."
So this week, this stages a dramatic canteen accident to hide a real injury. Have you ever come up with an elaborate way to cover up a mistake?
I think I have, but I need to think about it.
Yeah. Cool. I'm excited. I'm learning so much about you.
Yeah.
But that's all we've got time for this week. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Faithfully Fantasy Pod and come and join the conversation while you're waiting for the next episode. We'd love to hear if you're reading along. So if you've got thoughts, send them our way. Also, what we've got wildly wrong, but try to avoid spoilers in the comments.
And with this, we have just one more thing to say. Thank you for listening to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things fantasy fiction.
We'll see you next week for our read-along of chapters 36 to 47. And of course, for more Faithfully Fantasy.
Bye.